Hello viewers and welcome to a first hands-on, a proper hands-on WRC. Pretty late, obviously the game's out in the shops today, but it's certainly been a while coming, but we finally get a copy now, so you can start seeing some videos of it over the next few days. First we're looking at some of the intro from the game here, showing some of the courses, some of the cars. We can't play the music from this and from the menus unfortunately, but so the music you're hearing is not actually from the game. So menus, firstly, look a lot better. Because it wasn't difficult. Last year's menus were pretty poor to say the least. So this year we've got this nice white clean look and they look fine. They do the job much better. That's what we like to see. So at least the presentation of the game has moved on leaps and bounds here, which is nice to see. It has been produced quite late and coming out on the same day as Forza 4 probably wasn't ideal for the title. But if you like your rally, let's see what it's all about. I decided to pick Ken Block. Did a bit of that in dirt, thought I'd have a go on here as well. So there's lots of new rally stages in the game. We'll be looking at some of those. We're doing those new ones here today. Well, we won't be doing Italy, but obviously looking at the menus there, we're going to kick off with a bit of Australia. And then we're going to do somewhere else, Argentina as well. So a bit of the Australian rally first. So I'm using the wheel. I'm using the CSR wheel on the game. At the moment, first impressions of the wheel are it's a lot harder to play with the wheel than it is with the pad. Honestly, with the wheel I am tiptoeing quite a bit. I'm not able to get on the, get a real feel for it at all. Really, not get hold of the car. I feel like I'm a passenger. It feels more like I'm constantly aquaplaning to an extent, rather than actually, digging the car into the dirt and getting a real sort of grip and everything else. But it's more controlled by your gear, what gear you're in, so I'll often be a gear lower than I need to be because I know I can get the grip from turning with. Power siding the car isn't often as straightforward as it seems as well. I reckon you could get more aggressive with it, but at the same time you don't need to, it depends on the style. So Australia, we're looking at one of the new stages of course, and I really like the new stages. I think they've done a good job with them. They're nice and narrow, they're more complex than they were before, they seem slightly longer as well. Nice to see, nice to see. Visually the game is okay, it's not going to blow the world away, but it's certainly loads better than last year's. And this gives you a certain indication. These rally clips you're going to see from a variety of sections of the Australia rally. Just sort of a quick sort of run through it if you like, give you guys an idea of one of the new stages. Notice there, I wasn't very happy, a furious hand movement there, the game reset me. That's something which we're going to look at on another video actually, because I have noticed a few times I'm just literally driving down the track and it just automatically resets me, so certainly an issue which can pop up now and again. So, driving along, it does feel much like I'm tiptoeing. I haven't really got the hang of it yet with the wheel, if I'm absolutely honest. I'd need a bit more practice on it, and I will put in a bit more time and certainly improve. So, we've cut through a few sections here and there, I'll just sort of cut them together for you guys. Hairpin there didn't go ideal. I heard the command and I was slightly confused of which way to go for a moment, so you will see the odd slow one where literally this is my first go playing it. So learning my way, and sometimes when I'm going through a tight section like this I'll be a little bit tentative on the power, not quite full speed because I'm thinking, well, I don't really know what's coming. And in these videos I do try to keep them as clean as possible for you guys, just to get an idea of the game. Sometimes I like there, you are coming off the power quite early. Oversteer there as well, just where the handbrake just spun the car around a bit. But you can see obviously the difference there, the stages are narrower than they were before. Certainly as a rally title goes, there's obviously the damage stuff at the end of each stage, but this isn't so much a review. I've just got the game recently, so yesterday was the first day I had a chance to film it and make this for you guys and give you an example of the game. Handling wise, it is all about throttle control as you'd expect, but at the same time, as I say, it's very much tiptoeing. I haven't got an idea of grip. I don't really feel that line of having grip and not having grip yet. I'd need to play it an awful lot more to get a feel for it. Also, when it comes to some of the co-driver comments, I'll probably have to alter those because they're a little bit too late for me a lot of the time. On to another stage here. A bit more muddy. The shadows, you can see a very dark environment. Haven't changed the lighting at all from, say, what you've seen on my other videos, but certainly this could do a slight change. Of course, it's worth pointing out as well that the picture quality here doesn't quite do it justice. It wasn't picking up too well on the camera, and we don't have a direct feed replay of this one, but we do have some direct feed later in the video. You know, to look at last year's game and say, where has it come from? Well, last year's game was disappointing because I felt at the time it didn't necessarily represent the sport of rally. You know, it was a dirt game, much like Dirt 3. It just didn't feel like a proper rally. It didn't take you on a journey, as it were. Whereas this one so far is much better. Yes, there's a few linked sections. You'll be doing forward and backward and all the rest of it, as we've become used to in modern rally games, but much more variety looking now. You know, it's a much better looking environment. You can see straight away that environment's way better than anything we had last year. So the team has been working quite hard. They've just been a little bit unfortunate in the way, the timing of the game, obviously, what with it being the Forza release date and everything else. So, wheel then, tiptoeing, very challenging, pad much easier, and we'll see a bit more of that later on as well. You'll see here one of the reuse sections that we were driving down earlier, and that essentially goes over the same ground that we were on earlier on. Handbrakes are tricky, much easier going downhill. I found the handbrakes were working much better for me in second gear than first gear. And this is the final sort of Australia stage. So much better looking, much more fun. But driving, as we know, is a competitive market, much like real motorsport itself, and you really do need to be on top of your game. We'll have to wait and see with more play, but at the moment, so far, it's a fun rally game with a pad, with a wheel. It's a bit more hard work, and I'd need to have a bit more practice at it to really get a full understanding of it. But certainly doing clean times, I found that learning the sections will be a lot more helpful than just listening to the driver notes. Working better there this time. Again, it's a tricky section. I would like to put my foot down, but if you hit the sides of the road too hard, here's another moment here where the game resets me, and that completely threw me off course there. I'm like, what, where am I? Oh, hang on. I'm back where I started for some unknown reason. So things like that will hopefully be sorted out. But on doing this, I simply play the game and see what happens. So that's a little bug there that will need to be looked into. But these are just literally the first stages I've played in the game. Had a quick go on Greece as well, and Spain. Spain obviously was in the previous game, looks a bit better. All the tracks have had a touch-up, you know, they've had improved lighting and improved look. In a way, this is kind of what we hoped last year's game would be, and it wasn't quite, it didn't live up to expectation. When we first saw last year's game, we figured it was an early version, it had a long way to go, and when we saw the final game, it actually didn't go much further. So it's nice to see this time that it has moved forward a long way from the early build we saw, but just so late getting footage on it this time. So if you have any questions on the game, do whack those in the comments below, and I'll endeavour to get back to them. We'll be seeing more WRC coverage next week as well, so we've got a few more rallies and videos to come on this. Different sections, different rallies, different rally car types, all that kind of thing. But obviously this is just clips from the first 3 stages, so there's lots more stages and sections and everything else to cover. We won't be covering all of them, but certainly a look at each rally in the next few days. Gentle on the power there. Didn't quite have any confidence of where I was going on the bumps. That's all confidence really. I mean, there's loads more time in the game. Now we're looking at, I believe this is Argentina. A bit more rugged this time. A lot more grip as well. Here's an interesting moment. In just a second I end up going on 2 wheels. Here we go. Bond style. Whoa, nice. That's a nice effect. I like that. Pretty cool. Now of course it's I say this is more grippy than the Australia. it is more grippy, but let's not muck about. There isn't a lot of grip there, so I'm still tippy-toeing around a lot of this. This is quite a technical section.
Right 3. 100. Key middle.
Didn't quite get the steering.
60.
I can blame Ken Block, can't I? Ken Block's fault.
Right 3.
I always do.
Left 2.
You see, very technical section there. Car just came out way too far, and then it just understeered completely for me. So if I had another go on the section, I would no doubt do better than that. But obviously, with limited time, I just wanted to get this video up for you guys to see. The game is out today, so normally we'd have a bit more time to preview it and show you earlier builds. But obviously, we received that early build a while ago, which wasn't really representative. This is much better than that, but we've not really had time to make this for you guys.
Hairpin left. Slow down. Cut.
Doing slightly better at those handbrake turns now. Now, I've left this in here. Hairpin right. He told me probably 10 metres before the corner. There's no way I was going to make it then. And that's a good example of, you know, listening to the comments rather than looking at the arrows, and just the comment coming a little bit too late for me.
Slow down. Right 2. In. Left.
So now I'm braking really early when he says slow down. I'm being really tentative.
100. Bump. 60.
Lots of bumps in the car here.
Left 5.
Very bumpy piece of track.
Slow down. Left 3. In. Right 4. 60. Cut. Right
And
5.
again, slow down there. Just came a little bit too late. You're flying in there so fast, you know, that it just needed to be a second earlier for me to be able to hit the brakes.
Key middle. Jump. Keep left. Jump. Slow down. Right 3.
So I'm slowing down a lot now.
Tightens.
Now cutting into later in the stage.
Left 5. In. Right 3.
Different sections. Just giving you an idea of what you're going to be encountering.
Right 3. Tightens. Left.
Being a bit more rugged with the car.
Right 4.
It is nice though to play a different sort of rally action, but you know, I'd have to say that if you say who's it aimed at, it's definitely aimed at sort of arcade gaming rally fans rather than the serious sim community. But I think there's no doubt it's certainly a step forward.
150. Slow down. Right 3.
But I'll be looking forward to getting your impressions on the game as well now the game's actually out. Because, as I say, normally we get these games early, and not this time. Another very twisty section there. Hard though when you don't know the sections to put your foot down. These edges on the road there, if you touch them, the car is likely to roll straight away, as it nearly did there. And that's what I'm always conscious about. So sometimes I would like to take it flat, but if I don't know the section perfectly, I'm likely to fall off the track pretty quickly. And the last thing I wanted was lots of videos of me just rolling off of every corner.
80, left 5, drop outside, right 4, left 3, right 4, left 3.
I like this section here as well, the trees, the views, everything else really nice. We have a high speed section now towards the end of this stage. And this is nice, I like this. I just thought go for it. And you can see the car became really unbalanced as soon as it hits a bump. And well, that was that. We made it across the line. So now finally to finish, this is a bit of direct feed with controller, which I thought I'd record for you guys just to show you what this is all about. And as you can see straight away, you'll see much better driving on the whole with the control pad. It's a lot easier with a pad than it is with a wheel for me personally. I'll be keen to get your impressions. More grip, more responsive from the car, and everything else. So this is the in-car view. Obviously I can't film this view when doing the over-the-shoulder shots just due to the glare of the TV on the camera. This I believe is Greece, so we've got the replay in the bottom corner there. Nice enough replays in the game, certainly a lot better than we've seen before, and you can see here, you know, much better hairpins in the game now, more detail, larger environments, everything else. And with the pad it's a lot of fun, you know. Oops, making a mistake there, that was my fault, just not listening to the co-driver. It is a game where you're also coming off the power a lot more than you would say in a more aggressive arcade sort of sim such as Dirt, where you had a load more grip than this.
right 3. 200, bump.
It gives you guys an idea of what it's all about. So yes, we've seen 3 of the new rally sections. The game will also include special stages as well, which is something that they've been showing off quite a bit, and I'll be showing off a couple of those special stages next week. All busy at the moment on the racing front. And again, this is a long and complex stage. I had a quick go on this at Ubisoft, having a go on it, and rolled the car at one point, a massive roll towards the end of the stage. So when I get to the same point this time, I remembered I'm going to take it easy. Up the hill, hairpins are always a lot easier there. So you can see the difference between the wheel and between the pad. I just feel a lot quicker with the pad. I'm able to go quicker. The car's quite central in the middle of the road. What a difference. Really easy for me to drive comparatively. Now we could talk about wheel settings, but it's not so much wheel settings so much as just a feeling of grip. You just get more tactile feel with a pad than you do with the wheel, really. So I mean, as I say, that is somewhat down to experience, and I'll play it more and I'll no doubt get a better feel for it, but it's certainly not necessarily in the pick up and play sort of feel that I was expecting it to be. But it's a difficult job for Black Bean, because obviously they're balanced between trying to make a game approachable for new drivers and for rally fans, but then also making a game fun for sim racers and experts of the genre. So it's never going to be for everybody, but the big question is, for me going through the game, will be how much fun do I have playing it, and does it effectively replicate the sport of WRC? Last year's didn't. This year's we'll have to wait and see. We need a bit more play on it before we can come to a conclusion on that. No doubt there will be lots of reviews appearing on the press around now. So quite a twisty uphill section there. I like it though, different to anything we'd seen in the previous game. This is the section I was talking about, was very tentative. You'd normally floor it down here, but there's a little bit of the dirt that sort of juts out here somewhere. There it was, and that sent me into a massive roll the first time, right near the end of the stage. But that's it, viewers. That's the first look at WRC2. More videos to come. Let me know what you think in your comments, and I'll see you all soon.